Hello and welcome. My name is Emeline Jarvie, or EJ. I'm the Curriculum Development Coordinator for the Sexual and Gender Minority Health Equity Initiative. My pronouns are they and them. It's my pleasure to host this week's Voices from the Community as we celebrate Pride Month and commemorate the 51st anniversary of the Stonewall Riots. We're excited to share some updates on the Sexual and Gender Minority Health Equity Initiative that's going on here at HMS. It's a 3-year effort to enhance the ability of HMS graduates to provide evidence-based affirming care for LGBTQIA+ patients by integrating that SGM content across the curriculum. So I'm joined today by Nick Freeman, Jennifer Potter, and John Dalrymple. So I would like to allow them each to introduce themselves. John, would you like to start?
Sure, thanks EJ. Hello everyone, I'm John Dalrymple, and I'm a gynecologic oncologist at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. I'm also the Associate Dean for Medical Education Quality Improvement at Harvard Medical School. I serve as one of the faculty directors for the Sexual and Gender Minority Health Equity Initiative.
Jenny?
Hi, thanks so much, EJ, and hello, everyone. I'm Jenny Potter. I use she, her pronouns. I'm another one of the faculty directors of the SGM Health Equity Initiative, and I'm a primary care doctor at Beth Israel, and I co-chair the Fenway Institute.
And Nick?
Great, thank you. My name is Nicolas. I also go by Nick. My last name is Freeman. My gender pronouns are they, them, there. And I'm a first-year student at HMS and one of the co-chairs of LOMS.
All right, so John and Jenny, you are two of the faculty directors for the SGM Health Equity Initiative. Do you want to give a quick overview of what that even means, what that is, what we're hoping to achieve with this initiative?
Sure, the Sexual and Gender Minority Health Equity Initiative is a 3-year effort focused on looking at the Harvard Medical School curriculum and identifying ways to integrate topics related to sexual and gender minority health. We already have some elements built into the different parts of the curriculum, but we recognize that we could do a much better job and provide an inclusive, longitudinal experience for all students. It's supported by a generous grant, and we're very excited to move this forward with many other faculty, fellows, and the help of students as well.
Jenny, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I think one of the things that's incredibly exciting about this initiative is that it incorporates voices of community members themselves. And we're incredibly excited to have formed a community advisory committee of community members from across the country who represent lots of different identities and life experiences who are advising us on all aspects of the curriculum. The other thing that's really exciting about the curriculum is that we're building in educational opportunities that help students to have more opportunities interfacing with members of the community so that they can really establish much more familiarity with people who have all of these different identities and life experiences.
And Jenny, that was going to be my next question, was getting to this community piece. One of the things that we're really excited to be launching this month is a community advisory group, which is members of the LGBTQIA community who are going to come together and help us with this work. Later this month, on June 30th, we're hosting a panel, LGBTQIA Community Voices, Reflections on Healthcare Experiences. So that will take place on Tuesday, June 30th, and it's members of the LGBTQ community from the greater Boston area who are going to share their experiences accessing healthcare. So Jenny, what's one of the really significant, impactful things about having community members involved in this process? What's unique and meaningful about that?
Gosh, I think there are a lot of things, but if I was going to highlight one particularly important thing, it's that you cannot, as a healthcare practitioner, begin to imagine what the experience is like to receive healthcare as a member of the SGM community unless you incorporate the actual experiences of people who have been living this day to day. And you may think that you know what you need to do, but if you don't ask and really incorporate the unique perspectives and lived experiences of the people who have been coming to the doctor and in some cases being mistreated, you're going to completely miss the boat.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And so Nick, you have received a grant. Do you want to tell us about that, and what are you doing? What does it entail? And what do you hope that the Harvard Medical School can learn from your project?
Thank you. So I am working with a team of people from a variety of disciplines at Harvard, at other organizations, at the Trans Health Program, at Massachusetts General Hospital. And we've created this project called A Walk in My Shoes, Fostering Empathy for Gender Diversity. And we're bringing an immersive experience to different schools at Harvard for participants to come in into the experience. It's designed as a really big shoe, and people come in, they're able to take a step into another person's life of a gender identity that's different from theirs. And they're able to interact with their narrative, interact with items and objects that they interact with. And really, we're hoping that this creates a conversation and creates a moment for people to really think about other people's gender identities in a very safe and playful way. And so we're going to be, we recently won a grant from the Harvard Culture Labs Innovation Fund for 2020. And so we're going to be working on that in the next academic year and bringing that to different schools at Harvard.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to try out the shoe in the fall, and it was a very great experience. I really hope that many more people can learn and experience that. So Nick, one thing I wanted you and I to share, we're both two out non-binary people here at Harvard Medical School. You know, people are sometimes maybe stumbling over pronouns or feeling a lot of anxiety around that, but what is it like for you, and what do you wish that people understood about non-binary identity or about they, them pronouns?
I think for me, as a brief background, I identify as transgender non-binary. And for me, that means that I don't identify as a man or a woman. And for me, my gender expression is something that I take a lot of pride in, and I feel a lot of joy being able to share with others. And so that may look like different things on different days, and I'm very comfortable with that, and I'm hoping that others are comfortable with that too. But what I wish that people knew about my experiences here at Harvard, and I would say from what I've seen in medicine more broadly, it really can feel lonely sometimes, being non-binary and feeling like I might be the only person in the room speaking to the experiences of trans and gender non-binary people. And I feel like there's sometimes a lot of pressure to be able to articulate what I'm feeling and the experiences of my community in a way that's at times palatable to the rest of medicine. And so that can take a toll on people, and I hope that people are able to understand that that these are some of the experiences that I'd say any group that's marginalized in medicine can be feeling at any given time. But that doesn't mean it can't change. I am really excited, looking forward to just increased conversations, but also increased representation of trans and non-binary people, especially in medicine, where I think changes to the curriculum like we're seeing now really makes us think about who's here and who's not here, and how we can actually make this field more welcoming. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's a really great answer. And I would say I feel very similar on those same fronts. But one thing I want to touch on is what you mentioned about just the joy of your gender expression. I often hear people expressing so much anxiety about, oh, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to use your pronouns. I'm very afraid to get it wrong. And I think I would like to shift the conversation not from fear and anxiety around getting it wrong, but to knowing that getting somebody's pronouns right is an opportunity not only to know them better, but to really sort of share in a joy with them. It can be the smallest thing, but somebody I don't even know, referring to me in an email and saying, can you help them with this? It really buoys me. I am trying to keep a neutral face, but there's like these fireworks going off in my chest, just feeling this recognition. And I think that that's something that I really want people to know, just that instead of approaching knowing somebody's identity from a place of fear and anxiety, that you should approach it from an opportunity to know this person and to help them to feel seen in a way that can be really impactful and just turn your day around to have even that small moment of affirmation.
what I hear is this opportunity for allyship for people outside of the trans and non-binary community. If a person is out about their gender identity and they ask others to help share their pronouns and making sure that they're gendered correctly, with that person's permission, you could help make sure that people are gendered correctly in different spaces and lead to these moments of affirmation that we're seeking. Yeah.
Jenny and John, do you have anything that you would like to add about experiences of outness in the workplace or ways to show allyship to those around you, since a large piece of this is not just the curriculum, but the climate and the culture, and making sure that we have a space and a climate that is safe and affirming for our students, for our patients, for doctors in the hospital, who are all part of our LGBTQ community.
I would just say that being seen and valued for who one is an incredibly core, important thing, not just in medicine, obviously in medicine, but in life. And it's something that I think that we all need to strive to do. And I want to thank the two of you for sharing what you just shared. It was beautiful.
I would also add that in the years that I've been part of the HMS family, going back to when I was a student myself over 25 years ago to now being a faculty that I joined recently, it's remarkable to see how far our community and our workplace has evolved. It's also remarkable to know how much more we can evolve. And I have to say, seeing a class with you, Nick, in the class and having a work environment with you, EJ, in it has really allowed us to see what is possible. And it has been remarkable to see the community among our faculty and our staff, our students come together and realize that we can have an inclusive workspace, a learning space, and we hope that we can translate that into the care of our patients moving forward.
Great, thank you. Well, those are the questions that I had prepared, but do any of you have any closing thoughts on pride, on community, on what this means for us going forward?
I would like to say that it's we're really at a significant time in our history, and that's also our history at Harvard Medical School and in the healthcare space. And all the events that have been happening around us these past few months and these past few years have led us to where we are today. And I, for one, I'm filled with excitement and enthusiasm, especially during this month, but I'm also anxious about what the future will hold. But that's filled with anxiety, but also a great hope, as Nick mentioned, that we really do have a great opportunity before us. And I know that things are going to be different and they're going to be in a very good place moving forward.
Great, thank you. As a reminder, on June 30th, we have the LGBTQIA+ Community Voices panel, Reflections on Healthcare Experiences. There will be a panel discussion followed by a Q&A, and that's on Tuesday, June 30th at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It will be live and virtual, and a recording will be available afterwards. And that's it for this week's Voices from the Community. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be safe and be well.